in your journey as a green entrepreneur when it comes to access to finances, mentorship, guidance, and how are you able to navigate them in this particular space that you're in? And when it comes to the support that you've had, do you think and do you see that there's some support structures that are missing, especially as a green entrepreneur?
Yes. So to begin with, the one thing that I haven't lacked is mentorship, especially through Jacob's Ladder Africa. They've always held our hands. They've always told us, this is where you should go, this is what you should do, etc. So that has been doing fine. So on the part of finances, I think this is where every entrepreneur goes through, every startup, etc. Yeah, so it was a challenge. And Jacob's Ladder Africa actually got us through the first hurdle because we needed money to create our first prototype. And then after we moved from that, we realized that we actually need a lot of money for research and development. And now to fulfill this new need, we decided to apply for grants, which fund research and development. Yes, which we have been able to receive, for example, from the Research to Commercialization Program, which is sponsored by Kenya National Innovation Agency. Yes, and we've also been given other sort of financial support in terms of travel grants to go to conferences, to go to exhibit our product, etc. And that has really, really helped. So where there is a gap is I have this opportunity where I have an idea and I can grow it. I can learn things through this specific program, which was called Jacob's Ladder Africa. But for some people, they do not have that opportunity. So I still think that is a growing sector that a lot of people need to invest their money in and their time in.
All right, thank you for that. Emmanuel, you know, in terms of competitiveness, in terms of jobs, especially when we compare Africa to in the global economy, right? Where we stand and how we can rank ourselves in the global economy. If Africa, you know, does not step up, or if Africa fails to act now and move towards green jobs, what risks do you think we face in the long run?
Interesting question, and thank you for the opportunity. To step back a bit and talk about what we do as a project so that we can address this question sufficiently is that our project, of course, co-financed by Finland and German government, with working with the government of Kenya under the Ministry of Education, is tackling the biggest question, the youth unemployment. We know the numbers, we know the effects at the moment, right? But the biggest elephant in the room is really, as she mentioned, the quality. And how do we ensure that we have this quality? We have to bring in the employer on the table. For a long time in Kenya, and I think Africa by extension, there's a lot of disconnect between the academia and the industry. Academia keeps on, in fact, tomorrow there's a graduation in Nairobi, thousands coming to the labor market. The job market keeps on shrinking every year. Right? So how do we ensure that we address this issue? So as a project, we purpose to address this unemployment question by ensuring that we bring in the employer to the conversation and have this candid discussion. Because we realize that unless the employer, the person who's going to consume this training coming from the TVET institution is part of the conversation, then it will still be a problem. Because look at the curriculum in Kenya, for example. You know, it takes a long time before it's reviewed. An industry, on the other hand, every 1 year or 2 years, it has shifted.
Changing.
Right now, you talk about the electric vehicles. 3, 4, 5 years ago, it was just EFIs, right? What is the risk? We are going to get a worse situation in the youth unemployment. I think Africa average age is 25 to 30 years old. And all of them, you know the unemployment data, you know? And we have millions of these youth missing out on jobs, you know, projected as she has rightly put it, from the renewable energy space or green space, Sustainable agriculture, for example. We need to ensure that we have sustainable, or we're able to feed ourselves. There's a lot of potential in agriculture, And back to circular economy, there's a lot that can be done in that value chain, right? So if you want to tackle youth unemployment, let's tap green energy and tap on the skills that can be leveraged in this particular